Alright, hey guys, and welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you guys are new here. Now, in today's video, we're going to be going to PETCO, because that's where I found these items, and I'm going to be getting something called plant bulbs. Now, I've seen these a couple times before, and they just haven't really intrigued me until they came out with some new packaging. So I've seen this in the past, and it was in this like old, dark, ugly packaging. They are, I guess, repackaged now at a better price, and it looks like they include a little bit more bulbs. So I started to check them out a little bit, and they seem pretty cool and then on sale. Basically what it is it's a little baggie full of what looks like rocks, but they're actually plants. Like you put them in your fish tank, and like over time, it grows into a plant. Crazy, I know. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to PETCO. I saw them there earlier. They look really, really cool. So I thought, why not make it a video? I'll show you the whole process of me getting them, putting them in the tank, and maybe even them sprouting. I think that's what it's called. So I'm gonna go ahead and swing right on over to PETCO. And let's go ahead and check out some of these live aquarium bulbs. I guess they're not live, they're in a bag, but they will be live eventually. Let's go. I just made it to PETCO. We got the biker gang here. We are absolutely ready for this. So first thing up at this PETCO location was the feeder tank system. The filtration is down. The pump seemed to have stopped working. So what they did was they put a whole bunch of internal filters in each little section. Now honestly, that's not enough at all. There's a ton of fish in here. They put some air pumps, but I'm sure they're working as hard as they can to, fix the filtration. So that is what it is. Next up, there was the koi and the goldfish. Lots of different variety in here, a lot of colors too. But they did have some pretty cool koi, specifically this yellowish goldish one. That guy was really, really cool. And then there was this other koi, but he didn't look as cool. He didn't look as healthy. And then a lot of goldfish. Next up, in saltwater, they had a beautiful Sailfin Tang. I love Sailfin Tangs because I have one of my own. Nice clean top row. As we move down, it's a little bit dirtier. There's some nice shrimp in there, which I love. Saltwater shrimp, they're so cool. But mine always disappear. I'll have it for like a week or two, and it will just disappear. Don't know what the issue is, but I can't keep shrimp alive, and it drives me crazy. But that's pretty much it for saltwater. Next up, moving into freshwater, there's a nice selection of assorted mollies and platies. Now, mollies and platies are super, super cool and great beginner fish because they're cheap, they're very hardy, they're super easy to breed, and they come in a lot of different shapes, sizes, and colors, as you can see here. If you're looking for mollies and platies, I would always recommend going to your pet store and finding the assorted tank, because you can find the greatest variants of colors in there rather than just finding them in like a color specific tank. In the assorted tanks, they're generally a little bit cheaper, and you can find a whole bunch of different colors, shapes, and sizes and pick which ones are your favorite. Next up, we have the Betta Fish. Nothing crazy here. There's more in the front. This is just the few they had in the back. Next up, there's the water lily plant bulbs. These are not what I'm looking for, but they're very similar. These plants just, I guess, are kind of the same thing as what I'm looking for, but just water lilies instead of an assortment. And then right over here is the assortment plants, like the assorted ones, where it's supposed to come with multiple bulbs of all different plants, and that is exactly what I'm looking for. So I'm back from inside PETCO. We got the bulbs, but I was scammed. The price tag was $4.99, 20% off, should have been $4. It was actually $6, and then I got like $1 and like some change off. Whatever, it was more expensive than I thought. But it's fine. So as you can see, there's 3 different types of plants: a water lily, an onion, and a pontigian, whatever that is. It's supposed to look like that. There are 4 bulbs in here. We'll see about that. I'll set you there real fast. We'll open this up. And we have this big boy. That's massive and scary looking. Weird. And then there's some other small ones in there. So it looks like we did get 4. I don't know what's what. This one is massive. Not sure why this one's huge and the other ones are tiny. But regardless, we'll go ahead and head home and get them into a tank.
A few moments later.
So I'm back home, and here they all are. Now I'm going to be putting them in this tank because we already have some plants in here, and I think we'll be perfect. We've got a nice open spot right here so we can monitor their growth. We have enough lighting for plants, as you can see, so we should be good on that end. So we're supposed to bury them about 3/4 of the way in the substrate. So I'm going to start with this big one. I'm going to be really mad if these float, by the way. I hope they don't. But if they float, that's going to be an issue. They float. They float. Also, I just dripped water everywhere. But these plants, they don't sink, so I can't bury them in the substrate. Like, I'm going to try to bury it right here, which, by the way, it's literally raining in the corner. I got it kind of buried in this corner right here, but that's ugly. That's not where I want it. I want it over here. So after flooding my kitchen, which is still dripping, by the way, still dripping, I got 1 bulb planted right in there. It looks really bad. We're just gonna hope it lives.
A few moments later.
So it is about 2 days later, and I don't know if you can see that, but it's like things are actually happening. Like it's actually growing. I am beyond surprised. I did not expect that at all. One of them decided to float, the big one, I could just not get it to sink. But the 3 smaller ones right here, 2 of them are growing. This 3rd one down here is just sitting and not doing too much. But like we're actually, like something's actually happening. It's crazy. I'm gonna give them a few more days and I'll update you guys later. So it's like 3 days later and it's time for another plant update. So these 2 are going crazy. Like there's this one tall thing, I don't know what it's doing. It's, I guess, trying to go all the way to the top of this pretty tall aquarium. But both of these 2 bulbs have sprouted. That one down there is looking really depressed. And then this big one just keeps floating and isn't doing anything. So that's all there is to update. So far, 50% of the bulbs, which is 2 of them, are doing what they're supposed to be doing. This guy, I don't know if it's starting to grow or what. I don't know why it's white either. And then this one's literally just floating. That's it.
2 days later.
And a few days later, last but not least, this is the final update. Here is what everything looks like. So, plants have grown a lot. Basically, everything has sprouted a little bit, except for this big one right here. But we do have this long strand almost growing out of the aquarium. It's hard to see, but it's right there, and it's actually beginning to flower. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Honestly, the plants did great. They grew. It was definitely worth the money, and I definitely would try this again. Anyway, that is going to be pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching the process of the plant bulbs actually turning from rocks into like real plants. I don't know, it was a crazy process, but that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Goodbye.